So how high should minimum wage be? $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $100 an hour? Okay, this is my channel, World War Problems. Today I wanted to discuss this article I just read from the Independent News. It says, California governor criticized after a new $20 minimum wage raising prices of McDonald's and Chipotle. Okay, so apparently they just rose minimum wage in California to $20 an hour. Just got signed in. And go figure, they have to raise prices, right? Because you know, that's how the economy works, right? Because if you watch my previous videos, it's about the 30-30-30-10 rule, which is, you got 30% labor, 30%, cost of materials, 30% overhead, and then you got 10% profit. So if that 30% labor goes up another 10-25%, you're going to have to raise everything else up 10-25%. So it all just comes around, right? So it's just not just magical. These guys get $20 an hour and everything's hunky-dory, right? So so why are they doing this? They're claiming people need a living wage and all these other things, which do minimum wage workers, like working at McDonald's, do they need to make enough to afford their own house or buy land and all these other things? My experience is, I'm kind of old school, so I think that jobs like McDonald's and all these other jobs, they're not really living wage jobs. They're just entry level jobs. They're jobs for like teenagers, people getting off their feet, just trying to get some experience and make something of themselves, maybe while they're going to college or something like that. It's just a stepping stone job. It's not supposed to be a career. And they're trying to pay these guys like it's a career. And, and some people, no offense to fast food workers. I worked fast food for many, many years. So I know the struggle is real, with fast food. And, if you work in fast food, yeah, you'd love $20 an hour, but you got to think of the consequences for everybody else, right? Because now if you're, a guy with a 4-year degree, you got all this student debt and everything else, and you just got a job for $18 an hour, right? And now this guy, picking his nose at McDonald's, putting in your burger, now he's getting paid $20 an hour. Well, now he's going to be making more money than you. So, or the same, right? Because minimum wage is 20, right? So now everybody gets paid 20. So now you're gonna have to go to your boss, ask for a raise, and the cycle continues, right? And that's gonna just inflation go up, everything else. So, so does raising minimum wage fix anything, right? Because I don't know, because I'm looking at my state right now. I live in Washington, and my state shows that it is $15.74 per hour, right? Which seems pretty high, right? I remember there was all these protests all over the place, protesting, oh, we demand $15 an hour, and now everybody's struggling at $15 an hour. They can't even survive off that because, they said, oh, we need a living wage, right? Well, they didn't account for inflation, right? Because inflation goes nuts when you raise minimum wage up that price. So right now, California is at $15.50. So that's actually less than Washington, but now they're gonna try to outdo Washington by jumping it up to 20, right? So if we look at the inflation of that, so you're looking at a jump of $4.50 an hour. So let's grab my trusty calculator here. And we're going to type in, so it's 450 divided by 1550 equals, that is 29% inflation, right? So when you get the Federal Reserve coming out and saying there's only 3% inflation or 4% inflation, That's a bunch of BS because look at that. Numbers don't lie. 29% inflation 1 year, right? And so next time you go buy your cheeseburger at McDonald's, it's going to cost you 29% more because, so if your meal is now, $10, for a burger, now it's going to be $13 for a burger, right? And everything's just going to go crazy. And and from my experience too, as a business owner, I used to love inflation sometimes because, then you could just put it back on the customer and say, well, shoot, the reason why I had to raise my prices is because of all this inflation, right? And they just rose minimum wage by $5 an hour. So now I gotta charge you $15 for that burger instead of, $10. So now it's 50% inflation, right? And then the cycle just continues again. And then the people making $20 an hour are going to complain, hey, I can't even afford a cheeseburger, right? And so now they're going to want $25, $30, $40 an hour. And it's just going to depreciate our dollar and going to make it worse. So, and is it part of a plan? I don't know. Maybe they're trying to diminish our dollar to nothing. Who knows? But it's going to be interesting. But now if you look at Idaho, so Idaho is $7.25 an hour. That is ridiculously low, you know what I mean? But now, do they pay their workers that? No, because, that is the minimum wage, so if you're just working some minimal job and out in the middle of nowhere, and as long as cost of living's cheap, yeah, you can probably get paid $7 an hour. But as far as like, I live right across the border from Idaho. I live in Spokane, which is literally like 30 minutes, 40 minutes away from Idaho border. So, those guys are getting paid just as much as Washington, maybe just a little bit less, because cost of living over there is competing with us, because, if, our housing is doubling and tripling in price, their housing is probably going to double and triple price because what's a half-hour drive, right? You're going to get a lot of Washington drivers driving over to Idaho looking for homes because it's cheaper, right? And I know this too. Like, I love going to Idaho. I actually eat out in Idaho a lot because everything is cheaper out there. And you can go to Texas Roadhouse, for instance, and I've noticed the Texas Roadhouse in Spokane is actually almost $5 more per meal than the Idaho Texas Roadhouse. So if you bring a family of 4 or 5, to drive to Idaho and eat, you're going to save $20 on your meal, right? And that $20 could be used to buy more things, you can actually afford to buy drinks for your family and tip the waitress and all this other stuff. So it's all relative there. So what do you guys think? Do you think minimum wage just might as well just go to $100 an hour, or think we should keep it at 15, 20? What do you think? I think they should just quit touching it. They should just leave it, because look at Idaho. Idaho is $7.25 an hour. They let the free market rule the roost. So if you want to get paid more money, you just go to your boss, right? And you don't have to work for a place that pays $7 an hour. I wouldn't work for a place that paid $7 an hour. So because couldn't afford to live, right? So yeah, that is the way it is. But when the government forces you to pay $20 an hour, man, that's going to kill some small businesses. And, and there goes your checkout people at the grocery stores. And they're probably going to have to take out the checkout people at the, restaurants, so people ordering your food, you're probably gonna have to start doing it all online now, because they're not gonna have money to pay the employees to take your order, so good luck, getting food the way you want, and customer service is gonna go. So we'll see how it goes. What do you guys think? Comment down below, like, subscribe. Peace out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go, go. go, go.